G'day all you mad gamers, I'm Mad Mikey and I come from the bloody land down under. And in today's gaming news opinions, we're going to talk about how there's a new console coming out. That's right, Atari has spilled the beans and there's a bit of information out there now. This little bundle of joy has just grown up all the way to 3.0, as well as a exclusive content as DLC for a game is actually getting a physical release now, and Xbox has just advertised that they are making a Horizon style game. All of that in today's gaming news. Well, it's not just gaming news, it's my opinion. Mad Mikey Gaming. Hey mad gamers, and welcome to the Tuesday edition of my gaming news opinions, where we sort of go around the world, the wide world web, and we talk about all the gaming news that's out there. But what's a bit different in this show? I give my opinion on it as well. And don't forget, I'm Mad Mikey. If you like this show, give us a thumbs up, give us a like, give us a share. Tell all your friends about Mad Mikey Gaming, because they might like games. Now, on to the first bit of news for today. Now, it's not really news because it got announced last week, and it was during the time over at E3 where Atari launched a website called AtariBox.com. Now, you can go there now. It's a fully functional website, but it's basically just sort of showing you a little bit of a teaser to some new hardware. And while Atari were over at E3, they were sort of questioned about this, and the head of Atari sort of came out and said, yes, that is right. We are back in the console business. They don't really have anything to say at this point in time other than the fact that it is going to be based off of PC technology. Now, thank God this isn't going to be another Android box. I don't know what this could possibly be. Obviously, there's going to be some more news coming out in the coming weeks or months and whatnot. I don't know what I want this to be. Like, if they're basing it off of PC architecture, I don't think that they're going to be really competing with the Xbox or the PlayStation or the Nintendos out there. And I don't think it's going to be as crappy as like things like the Ouya. And I know that the Nvidia blades and stuff like that, they are... There is a sort of market out there. It's a very, very minimal market. So I don't really know what this is going to be. I don't know if it's going to be playing current gen games and even sort of previous gen games, which would be really stupid for them to jump in, because I really don't think that there is that market out there for 4 consoles. Like 3 is really, really pushing at the moment. You've always got that one that's always way out ahead, which is obviously the PlayStation at the moment. You got the Xbox coming out with the new Xbox One X, which is supposed to be the most powerful console out there, although Destiny's only going to be running at 30 frames per second, which is really weird. And you've got the Nintendo Wii, which is in a market sort of its own. It's not quite as strong, but it's got that portability love there. They should be, like... I don't think that they can put it out to really compete with your Mini NES. And it just did recently get announced that there is going to be a new Mega Drive one coming out where you can actually... it's going to have games installed on there, and you can actually use your old Mega Drive games. But I think it would be really silly for them to come out and sort of do all these Atari games. I know there is the Atari Flashback games coming out on the PlayStation and on the Xbox, but I don't think that those really old games people are going to be that interested in. Obviously, there's going to be a nostalgia value there, but I don't think that they can bring it out based on that premise. Otherwise, I do think it's going to fail. In the video that they did show, it looked really nice, but they also have come out and said that it's not going to be a final sort of representation of what the console is going to look like. So, guys, I'll put it out to you. What do you want this thing to be? Do you want it to have that nostalgic value, but then play some other things on there? Or do you just want like another mini NES? Hit up in the comments below down there, guys. And while we were sort of talking about the Nintendo Switch upgraded to 3.0 today. There was a few sort of noticeable changes on there. I'll just bring them up. So one of the first things that you'll find is in the news station, in the news area, you can actually go and you can actually subscribe to what are channels. So these are going to be based off of games and things that you're sort of interested in. At the moment, there's only the Voez channel. There's obviously the normal Nintendo one that's out there. And there are sort of other things that you can do. You can add friends from your Nintendo Wii U and your Nintendo 3DS. There's actually a nice, really little option in there in the friends section that sort of lets you go, if you go to the add a friend, you can go to the friend suggestion, and then as you can see out there, you've got, oh, whoops. You have your mobile phone, you have your Nintendo 3DS, and you have your Nintendo Wii U. So if you scroll through there, it actually comes up and shows people that you're friend with there, which is really kind of cool. I didn't have that many friends on the Wii U or the... I don't have any on the 3DS. Someone be my friend on the 3DS, please. And also there's a few extra sort of changes there, just with icons for friends. There's a lot of sort of backdoor stuff where it'll let you sort of change things, change and invert colors of the writing, so you can invert them to grayscale. The ability to actually change the volume just by holding down the home button. There's a full list on websites. I'll leave the list over on Mad Mikeey Gaming over on Facebook, as well as on Twitter. Yeah, 3.0, it's good to see that they are continually sort of trying to improve this console. It still is a very good console at this point in time. So it's going to be, I really hope that they start sort of talking about what this whole voice chat and through the mobile app that's going to be. There's also the option there to get notifications for your friends when they come online, which is a good thing because it's really weird. Like, I don't really sort of jump into my Nintendo Switch and then go to the friends section and see who's on and then sort of try and link up. Having something like a pop-up saying that a friend is online is going to be a very, very good add-on there. As I've sort of, we spoke about this, I think it was now a couple of months ago for this current piece of news, but it has been a few leaks coming out that Modern Warfare, the remastered Call of Duty game that was previously only available on the collector's edition of the previous Call of Duty game. Now, it was part of the collector's edition, and it was sort of stated that this was the only way that you could get it. You weren't able to buy it digitally. You weren't able to buy it physically. But what do you know? They've come out. So they're actually... it says here that it's unclear when the game is actually going to be coming out. But an in-store memo suggests that it could either be the 20th of June or the 27th of June. So it should be coming out, especially since they're actually showing a few pictures of that sort of physical disc out there in the wild. I'm not a fan of this. They sold this collector's edition based on the premise that this was the only way that you could get this remaster. Would I buy it? No. I think that they're actually charging full price for it as well, or a very sort of not very downloadable friendly sort of price. It's going to be around $60, $70 here in Australia. I'm not 100% sure what it's going to be like in overseas or anything, but that's Activision, isn't it? I mean, they said one thing and then they've gone back. And I think this is really in relation to the sort of poor sales of the previous Call of Duty. I mean, that's how much I sort of know about Call of Duty. I can't even remember what the bloody name of the game is. And in light of release of the new one coming out, World War II, they obviously just want to sort of, honeysuckle a bit more money out of the Call of Duty fans. Is this something that you guys would be picking up, even if you didn't pick up the Collector's Edition? I know this game is actually a really good game, and it sort of revitalized the franchise, and you've still got people playing this to this day. It had a lot of good multiplayer missions. I myself never really sort of got into the Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare game. No, it's not 4, it's just Modern Warfare. But yeah, unless the price is right, and the thing is, these Activision Call of Duty games very, very rarely go down in price, very much like Nintendo games. And moving on to the last bit of news for today, there has been a job listing over at Microsoft. They're looking for a lead environmental artist for a Microsoft AAA next-gen title, and it says style similar to Horizon Zero Dawn. Now, this is no surprise. I mean, Horizon Zero Dawn has been such a successful game, and it is a beautiful game. It's a spectacular game. A lot of people are singing its praises. I myself haven't really been able to get into it. I will eventually want to try and go back to it. But coming off the sort of back end of playing Legend of Zelda, Breath of the Wild, I just was over the whole sort of open world collect things, and I was just a lot more invested in Zelda at that point in time. Phil Spencer over at Xbox has talked about trying to plug those holes with missing things in their portfolio. So obviously they've looked at this, seen how well it's done, and they're now obviously looking to go ahead with it. Obviously, if they're still looking for people to actually make the game, it's probably not going to be out for a very long time. But it's going to be interesting to see what they actually do with this, because, yeah, I mean, this is probably one of the Game of the Year candidates at this point in time. But, you know what, time will see. We all trust Microsoft with these sorts of things, or do we? Because they did sort of cancel Scalebound for no reason. But that is it for today's gaming news, guys. Again, if you liked today's video, give it a thumbs up. Put your comments down below. Let me know what you're talking about. And I will see you guys again on Thursday for another gaming news opinions. And remember, guys, it's just my opinion. Have a great day, guys. Bye.